part-time workers get benefits too.
They're not going to do it.
No, because
Why would they do that?
corporation policy.
Oh, yeah, but it's fine, don't worry about it. Everything is going to change, whether they like it or not. You know what I mean? All right. Oh, God. So, this is not, what is this? Ooh. I like Society 6. They have really good artists. Anyways. It's not a rant, okay? This is not people think that when women talk about something that they know, that they're educated in, and they're passionate about it, it's a rant, but it's not a rant, okay? I'm gonna drink some Coke. I don't usually like Coke, but I need something sweet. Not sponsored by Coke. Will never accept a sponsor by Coke because it's bad for you. Anyways, before we begin what this is about, this ring is not fitting my finger. So, education right now in America, and before, as we learned when I'm studying the American education, is falling apart. Not because they wanted it to fall apart, but because a system that isn't created to support a community and actually educate people, but instead is made to put people in huge amount of debt and use a degree to manipulate the younger generation, is never going to sustain itself, especially during something like a pandemic. So what's going on now? Everyone that was in a college, prestigious or not, is suing, is protesting for their money back, for their tuition back, because that's in the $60,000, $100,000. And honestly, why would you pay for online classes where like you can get it for free online, or you can get it at Udemy or any of those Skillshare classes for a lot less? But the colleges aren't giving the money back because they're looking at the market and they know that they're not going to come back. So they're stealing the money and they're hoarding the money, which is like, okay, you do you, but everything has a cause and effect. So I don't know what that cause and effect will be in the future, but I'm sure it's not going to be fun for you. So anyways, relating this to my background, I have a degree. I have a bachelor's degree. Associate's degree is under a bachelor's degree. So my degree is in the middle. And even if I have a degree in my field where I excel at, I still don't make as much money as a man. I still don't make a living wage unless I have experience in the field under another company. So why do I even bother going to school to get a bachelor's degree if no one's going to respect that and take that into account, that I spent 4 years mastering, struggling, and working my ass off to get that degree so that I could have a living wage, a job that supports me. And, you know, it's okay, because at this point, if you haven't realized, it doesn't matter if you have a degree, because if you're talented, they'll hire you on the spot. So it doesn't really matter. I got a degree because my family, my mother came from Colombia. She came from a poor family. And she came here. She came to America because she wanted the American dream, and she wanted her daughters to be educated and get the degree, go to college, and support themselves. and we both did. My sister has a bachelor's degree in chemistry and a minor in psychology. I have a bachelor's degree in computer animation. So we achieved that, and here we are still. Regardless if we were born in this country, we're white, considered white. I don't consider myself fully American. I now changed it to Colombian American, because I'm not American. I'm a different flavor of American. We still don't have paying jobs. I'm not saying on my part, because I have my nonprofit organization, but currently, what has it as it is, even the grants for the nonprofits that funded, the nonprofits that did something, they all went away. So a lot of nonprofits are actually failing and they're falling. And regardless of whether I receive a grant or any income, I am still doing what I need to do. So even with a degree in America, you won't get a job. You're working in McDonald's, you're working at Target, you're working at Burger King, you're working for Walmart. It's really not worth it. And I'm happy these kids, these college kids, are stepping up to the plate, because I've always been a rebel. So I mess. Well, I can curse because it's 18 plus. I fuck shit up, man. I really don't care. I don't care. And I had people when I was in college, when I was making moves, saying, like, we have a right to our education. We're paying so much money. We can voice what we want in our education. And they were like, no, we can't do that. We'll get in trouble. They're gonna shit all over you. And when I say shit all over you, I'm not talking literally. They would make your life hell. And I was like, I have a mental illness. My life is already a fucking hell. Bring it on, bitch. Like, bring it on. I'll make your fucking life hell, okay? So, there were people like that who just kind of just want to stay under the shadows, under the carpet. And those people aren't worth, I don't want to say anything, but because that's really rude, but those aren't the people that are going down in history. I'm going to take off my glasses so you can see how serial I am. My makeup's a mess. Anyways. So yeah, those people that want to keep their mouth shut when people are being murdered, when people are stealing money from charity, when people are raping children, when people are abusing people in front of them, obviously with evidence, those people are going to they're going to disappear into the abyss. And then the people, like, I don't like putting myself out there, but people who are stepping up to the plate, who aren't afraid of fighting for justice, those people will be remembered by their own children. When they're old, they'll have pictures, be like, Mom, you're a badass. Dad, you're a badass. You were in the protest. You got punched by a cop. That's fucking awesome. They may be erased from white man's history, the capitalist history, but the real history is the verbal history, passed down through generations. Not the stuff that you read in textbooks. That's manipulated, and it's prejudice, especially in America. Really just. Ugh. But anyways, yeah. So, I mean, if you're scared, like, you want to be a scaredy cat, because that's what you are. Stay at home, do nothing. That's fine. But you can't hide forever in your house, because eventually the war comes to your doorstep, and it's happened in our history, the Civil War. So that's fun. I'm kind of like that meme, that meme of Elmo where he's like in the fire, like everything's burning. And I'm just like, let it burn. Just let it burn. And I'm not trying to say like, let's kill people. I'm not for violence. I'm saying kill the system. That's not a person, is it? Kill the system. Go ahead. Destroy it. Bring it down. That's literally all you have to do is just bring down the system. You don't even have to bother with the players. Just take up. Here are the players, and here are the base that they stand on. And just imagine it as they're on a pedestal, right? Because they love to put themselves on pedestals. Their pedestal is made out of wood. Just kick it. Guess what happens? Have you ever played Jenga? It's kind of like that. There's also another game like that. Yeah. Excuse you. I don't know what she's barking at. So yeah, so I mean, this was predictable. It's just really predictable if you pay attention to history and in integers and numbers and graphs and stuff. That's what boomers don't understand is regardless of how you try to manipulate nature, you cannot. The outcome is so unpredictable that you're playing with fire. And I don't think they predicted this would happen when they did their little calculation of their naughty research and genetic modifications. As I mentioned, viruses are sentient and they can do whatever they want. So you can't manipulate nature. It's impossible. The only thing you can do is instill fear in people. And even after that, fear itself is what you're afraid of. So once you master that and you realize there's really nothing to fear, what are they going to do? Of course, there are things that they're going to say, like, and other people will say they're going to kill you, they're going to murder you, they're going to rape you, they're going to take away your house, they're going to take away everything. And that's not for everyone to be able to handle, obviously. But there are people who live off the grid who are perfectly happy. They don't make any money. They don't have anything. So if they can do it, you can do it. Excuse me. So all that is just fear mongering. All that is fear mongering. They want to hold their little prizes for you for jumping through hoops, and essentially those hoops shouldn't have existed in the first place. We should have been about community in the beginning, education and kindness and love, but instead we allowed it to develop into something that was more greed, destruction, manipulation, fear mongering. But those systems cannot last because you cannot control what's going to happen. What? You want to sit on my lap? Come on. Ooh, she almost fell. Oh my God, you're heavy. So, you can't control what happens, right, Heidi? No, you're going to break my necklace. Anyways, stop. Shh, just lay down. So, it's going to rain, though. Can't go walking. So this was predictable. It's predictable and it's unpredictable what the outcome is going to be because this has never happened before in history. Even though it has happened in history, this situation as it is has not happened in history. So it's a different probability, different outcome depending on what happens between two people, two masses, and we'll see how well boomers can function, actually, because they're lower functioning. And I'm not saying as an insult. They're just really slow when it comes to cognitive ability. Maybe that's an insult, but I'm not saying it as an insult. They're probably going to take it like one. Trust me. And I don't consider anyone stupid. I don't consider anyone retarded, because that's really rude. I consider people ignorant and uneducated. So I think that's a better way, because there's people who do not function on a higher capacity, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm not saying it as an insult. They'll take it as an insult, but that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying, out with the old, in with the new, which is my generation and the generation after. We are here to take care of everything, because, naturally, everyone's going to get old, and who's going to take care of them? Which is something funny, because they don't realize that either. Like boomers, they don't realize that you're pretty much destroying the generation that's going to take care of you. And all this stuff that they're doing, all this stuff that they're showing us, like their true colors, just think about it. When you're old and you have Alzheimer's and you can't take care of yourself, and you're you have no money, even if you have money, no one's going to be there for you. You're going to die a sad, lonely life. And that's the worst life to die, way to die, actually, just lonely and sad. So I don't know what the outcome is. I could probably predict it, but I don't want to. Should we try it, though? Do I have paper? All right. So basically, what you can do is, because I was predicting something when I woke up at 4 a.m. about voter fraud, and I was trying to figure out the math, which I should write down. Actually, let me write that down now, because it's important. Anyways, to predict probability, you have to have. How do we do this? We're going to take two different eras, two different people. You're going to have boomers, okay? They control the system. They control everything. They're capitalist. And then we have Gen X, right? Gen X and millennials. And we're going to keep them separate, right? And let me do this. So let me write it down, because my brain, boomers. So there's things that you have to bring up when you're calculating this stuff. And this is based on, how can we relate this to games? Significant things that happen in history. One example is the creation of television. I wasn't alive when, I could be wrong. No, it was before. Yeah. So television, the creation of cell phones, and then the creation of, was internet before cell phones? Yeah. I'm going to switch it up. We're going to put Wi-Fi. right? We have three major events on the boomers timeline. All right. Millennials have nothing. Nothing. One thing we have is actually education, right? And this education, as you know it in my other videos, was being manipulated by boomers, right? So that education was completely controlled on a linear basis. And when I say linear, it didn't change and it hasn't changed up until 2020. So if you make a graph, do I have enough paper? I know I'm a nerd, okay? And some of you won't understand how my mind works. You're not meant to, okay? I'll try to make it as simple as possible. I like graphs too. Like I like graphics. So TV, Wi-Fi, cell phones. And you can go like really crazy with timelines, but it's just simple. It's easier just to keep it at a low number. All right, so education. All right, so we have education until 2020. And now, during this timeline, so this is what I have. I'm going to explain it to you. During this timeline, the TV, the education, the TV, Wi-Fi, and cell phones were influencing the education. And here we have the little giggles. Boomers were laughing, ha ha ha. They know nothing because we want it that way. But they fucked up because not only since we were raised by Wi-Fi and television and cell phones, we exceed in it. And guess who doesn't? Like, who doesn't want to use a computer? So they essentially created their own demise. Isn't it beautiful? I just love it. So nice. And they think that everything's gonna be okay. It is gonna be okay. Like it is gonna be okay, but things are never gonna be as they were because you just educated us so much. Like you gave us the best education in the world. You gave us a television. You gave us a Wi-Fi and Google. Google's awesome. And cell phones. That is the best education you could ever get, honestly. So so you put the pieces together because that's usually what happens. You create your own demise, like when you try to manipulate a race or any person's, like that comes back to haunt you. And that's basic karma, cause and effect. This was a cause, right? Sorry, this was something that they set in motion, and they have caused this because they set it in motion. It's the butterfly effect. So there's really no stopping it at this point, no matter how hard they're going to try. And I'm sure I'm going to get flagged one day when I become more popular. But it's fine. They can't do anything that has never been done to me. So, I mean, what are they going to do? So basically, by manipulating the education system, they've actually helped us in excelling in what they wanted us not to excel in. So the only thing that we have trouble with is division, like this division. I don't know the word. Separation. Like we think that we have to be better than one race. And that's not true. So we are all part of Earth. We're human beings on Earth, regardless of what island you came from, because we were all on the same thing. We were on Pangea, and then it just separated. So this whole concept that we're different is actually really just fucking stupid to begin with, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, if you want to be so separate from your roots and your race, then when the time comes for unity, you're going to miss out. Not only that, but you're going to suffer greatly with isolation. That's basically what happens when the masses unite and people do not want to join. Excuse me. They usually just put you in isolation, or you're just left to survive on your own. So either way, regardless of what happens in this timeline, it's still going to be okay. But I would prefer, if I had control over this life, that we reached peaceful resolution. We united under Earth. We would still keep our heritage, our culture, but overall, we would be people of Earth. And through unity and through community, we could accomplish so many things. We would excel in technology, robotics, healthcare, genetics, space travel. You can. It's just crazy. One mind can only do so much, but together as one, we could do so much more. But and also, whether you believe in it or not, there's other intelligent life out there. And I would rather be an ally than an enemy or a slave. So by having a peaceful resolution, unity, kindness, peace, and love, some people are like, that's hippie. I like hippies. They're cool. We would be stronger if we were to be invaded by a smarter, more efficient species, because that's something we can never predict. I mean, I think most people are just like, that's impossible. There's nothing out there. The probability is so high that thinking that it's not impossible is actually quite stupid. And I'm not going to explain why, because even if I explain it, people are still going to be like, that's impossible and you're crazy. So let them believe it when it happens, because they're going to believe it when it's in their face. But for the things that we need to do now is continue to educate ourselves, enjoy our lives, live your life, be happy, regardless of what is going on. The cat's like walking around. Educate yourself, have fun, play games, make memories. Kaiser. She's so cute. enjoy your life, because if you sit there and you're like, oh my God, life is terrible, all this stuff is happening, but it's not really helping anything. It's not helping your health. It's not helping your mental health. It's not helping anyone. You're just sitting there like frozen in fear. Instead, work on yourself, find the love in yourself, find your passions, and work for something that you wanted for so long. Just do it now. Because people are still putting it off. They're like, when this is all over, I'm going to do what I always wanted to do. And it's like, what do you mean all over? Like, what is all over? Like, you don't comprehend what's happening right now. Like, there's no normal. It's gone. Normal is gone. Like, it's never going to come back. It's gone. Like, you're not, like, come on. Like, what do you need? Like, another pandemic to get your ass in gear? Like, what is wrong with you? So just educate yourself. Make games. I make games every day. I have so many games that I'm in development. I have a few games that I'm going to finish. I swear I'm going to finish these games. I just don't want to buy Illustrator. It's too expensive. But I'm doing it. As soon as I get it, it's going to be like a pipeline, like bam, bam, bam. I'm going to have like 10 games done, and then I can publish them and you'll buy them, I hope, because that would be nice. But if you don't, that's okay. So college is going down. College is irrelevant now. And good. Good. It was bullshit. It was all bullshit. It was just so people could hang their degrees and be like, I have a fucking degree. Like, that's it. Who cares if you have a degree? You're still an idiot. You didn't learn shit. So good. I'm happy. How did I get dirty already? But of course, people are going to cry. Like, I won't have my degree. What will I do? Just fucking do it. Make your own job. Look at Elon Musk. He doesn't even hire people with degrees. I know other people that don't even care about degrees and they're making billions of dollars. Like, just stop being stupid. Stop being a baby. Just do it. Do the hard work. Because that's what it is. It's hard work and they don't want to do it. So, and I speak from experience because I'm not going to get bullshit. I'm the director, I'm the president, and I'm the founder of a nonprofit organization. I do the website, I do the content, I do the social media, I do the budgeting, I do the marketing, and I do the networking. If I can do it, you can do it. Just stop being lazy. So yeah, the sun's in my eyes. The fall of capitalism. Remember this too. Like, make sure I take pictures of certain events. Like, I kept the Black Lives Black BLM, the BLM movement, the one that they put in the street, and I got the screenshot of seeing it from space. Because if we can see it from space, guess who else can see it from space? You know what I mean? Just saying. Aliens with that guy with the hair. And we can go into aliens because it's evident. But then people don't want to believe in the concept of other life other than humans because we're just so perfect. We're just so perfect, like nothing can be more perfect than humans and humanity. Which is ironic because, so aliens have existed. Who knows? I mean, honestly, but it's in our history. If you look, you can find it. And also, another thing, we released the records of UFO sightings in the 2000s. Like, you can look up the documentation, like official documents, and read them. Guess who read them? Me. So I'm not full of shit. But what do I know? I'm just a woman. I'm just a woman who hates capitalists. I don't hate anyone. I just very dislike capitalism because it destroyed our planet, and if without a planet you have nothing. So what else can we do? Something fun, because we're getting cereal. I left my games upstairs. I have one, actually. I'm sorry. It's Coke. Oh, there are my chilies. What? Sit down. Foolish girl. All right, so I have a prototype for one game that I totally forgot. I don't even know when I came up with this. I looked at it and I was like, when did I come up with this? Sometimes that just happens. Like, I just get in the mood and it just comes out and then I forget about it. So this game, is about inner beauty. And I'm not going to tell you the title because I don't want anyone to take it because it's really personal. But it's a play on words and it's French. And I didn't develop it further because I think it was just like, let's just get this out there. But we can develop it further here. So I wrote down questions, and this was from the book. When you want to do a game, like prototyping, you ask, what is your game? ? What is it called? ? What does this solve? ? What is the message I'm trying to convey? And you answer those questions and then you develop it. But I did not go far. So let me do this. I have this sticky sheet with a horse on it. So for what does it solve? It's not really solving something. When I wrote it, it doesn't make sense. So I'm going to fix it. What does it solve? Or what does it want to convey? Or what does it solve? Or what is it trying to do? So what this game was meant to do is teach people that it's basically about spiritualism, because it deals with teaching you that the love that you want from another person you can find within yourself. So how would I teach that to someone who's not spiritualist or spiritual? That's a good question. It's actually harder than that. So I put the quotes, inner beauty is everlasting, because physical beauty is, what's the opposite of everlasting? I left my phone upstairs. I'm just gonna put fades. I know there's a better word. Physical beauty fades. So if you put yourself and your self-esteem on your beauty, your physical beauty, when you get old, you're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna feel worthless. And this happens all the time. It's common. So through this game, it's supposed to teach you the best investment. Maybe we should make it into an investment. I think that would be cool. Like actual money. Like if you're going to invest in something, you should invest your money in inner beauty. Because people love money, you know, and they love getting money from their investments. So then they would be like into it, you know. This is how games are developed, or at least my games are developed. So it's just brainstorming. Let's see what else. So inner beauty, outer beauty, different investments. Then what can we do to make it interesting? Like situations. How about if we bet with our money, like poker, right? I've never played poker, but I assume it's you bet. How does poker work? He's doing something. How does poker work? Is poker the one with the numbers, probability? Or is poker just betting chips and then playing the right hand? I think so. Whatever. So yeah, poker. I think I played poker in a game actually in Red Dead Redemption. All right, so poker pretty much. So you're playing poker with your chips and this is hard. So because I've never played poker, so I can't really understand what I'm trying to explain. So let me try to remember. You're playing with other people, trying to get the biggest hand, right? The highest number, and you're betting. How can that relate to beauty? Okay, I got it. So basically, um, all right. I'm just gonna keep burping. I really don't care. People burp. So this is a version of poker, but the twist in this game is it's an ultimate game. Which, if you don't know what an ultimate game, that's my guilty pleasure. Okay, it's sort of like a harem game where you're the only woman, and then you get seduced by all these men, and then you pick one or you pick all of them. I know. But anyways, it goes both ways, female and male harems. So we can do it as an ultimate game because those are really easy to make. So the player is playing poker, but the people that they're playing poker with are their potential partners, like husband or wife. And they have to decide what to play. Do they play the inner beauty cards or do they play the outer beauty cards? And then, dependent on that, is what options they'll have in partnership, right? These are the weird games that I come up with. Like, sometimes I don't even know, but it's fun as fuck. So depending on what cards you play, inner beauty or outer beauty, like we'll call them decks because different decks have different designs, right? So we're getting rid of the money aspect, but these will be different playing cards, right? That's more fun, right? And depending on the deck that you use, the numbers are different. The number of probability is different, because not all decks are the same. Yeah, not all decks are the same. They are if it's a poker, like a regular game, but I'm not using this as a like standard. Or we could keep it the same, but I don't know. We'll figure this out as it develops because that's also another thing. You have to test it, like you have to play test it and have other people play it. So this is just an idea. So depending on the deck you use, either you won't get punished because I don't like punishing people in my games, but there'll be consequences because consequences are neutral. Consequences. They're neutral, but people put a positive and a negative. They perceive it as a positive. I don't know what's wrong with me. Positive event. So depending on the deck you use, I'm thinking in my brain. We could even make it so that the decks are mixed and then the cards are different. So if you use a card, frequently, it's going to affect everything. Well, that's for later. So anyway, so the consequences are neutral. So depending on the deck, either it's going to negate from the partners you can choose. And it's kind of like a dating game too. Well, Otome is a dating game, but it's kind of like real life, I guess. It's kind of like that show, 90 Day Fiance. But anyways, that's another guilty pleasure. It would either be positive or negative. So either it would increase the number of partners you could have or decrease the number of partners you can have. And then what would be the end of that? Because it has to be a lesson. So let me think. So we're gonna make it like an actual card collecting game, and the partners that you basically win over will add to your deck, and it'll be like special cards or something. Like they'll give you +3 or I don't know. Doesn't that sound fun? Also, I would love to make the artwork for this because I love making tarot cards and anything like playing cards and stuff. So it'd be cool. And the style that we would go in would be like, what's that game? Hold on. Let me look it up. From Game Grumps. Game Grumps. Dream Daddy, like that style, because I like that artwork. So it'd be like an anime, clean style, cell shaded. because I'm not going to steal the person's style. I'm just using it as inspiration. So Dream Daddy style, special cards. So then if you either get positive or negative, it's really going to determine the game at the end. So that's it. That's like developing the second half. And one thing about doing prototypes, you want to keep them organized. And I'm very organized. I'm like highly organized when I want to be. I use Ziploc bags, and I put everything that has to do with one game in one Ziploc bag. And the bag is like this big. And then I title it, and I put like the title of the game, prototype, and then the year. Because not all games are meant to be finished like right away. And, that's how I stay organized. If not, everything is like everywhere in like every little book, so I forget about it. And then, it's never going to get finished. So this game, before I put it away, I want to look up some cards. Because there's so many different types of styles of playing cards. Like there's just so much. What is this? Holographic. It's shiny. I love shiny things. Okay. I just can't help it. I like it. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Oh God, there's oh my God. Okay, I'm in a deep hole right now. I'm trying not to get there. There's a tarot and playing card deck. And I want to see what the design looks like because where is it? Ah, here it is. It's called the Illuminated Tarot. Okay, it's not the style that I'm going for. The type of cards that I want for this game, an example. I don't know. So yeah, it's always good to look up reference. Actually, let me see that. No. This one kind of interests me. Text. Okay. Never mind. It's just I don't know. So I can always do this later, but yeah. So you always want to have reference during the time you're developing the idea, because if you leave it for a few years, I'm just all over the place. If you leave it for a few years, you will forget what originally inspired you. So when you get those images, like this imagery, you want to print them out, screenshot them, print them out, and put them in the bag, so what's, you'll remember. And sometimes I forget to do that. And then I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, why was I doing this? Like, I don't remember. And then you have to start all over. Well, you only have to go backwards. You just have to figure out why. But yeah, that's the easiest way to organize yourself. And also, let's see what else. I also have this. I'm a big fan of planners, not just because I'm a woman, but they're actually really efficient, especially if you manage a lot of things like I do. Let's see the schedule before Corona hit. My schedule in my life. Let's see. When did I get this? I think I got this I got this in my birthday. I wanted it, so I bought it for my birthday. And literally, this is hilarious. Literally every day of the week, I was doing something with other nonprofits, other community projects. And then, let's see, Corona hit in March, right? Yeah, like my schedule is so full, like everything is full. And then, yeah, and then in March, it just became really empty. I had more free time, which is fine. I'm not complaining. Like, you know, it served a purpose. And then, you know, I got my life back together, scheduling myself, doing YouTube. But yeah, like I'm a busy bee, and I'm only functioning at like 90%. Well, no, for work, I'm actually like doing like 20% of what I would do. If I was 100%, I would get so much done. But when the time's right, you know, like I'll be back. I'll be back. And also another thing, when people are less paranoid, I'm probably going to be on international television talking about my nonprofit organization and also doing TED Talks and all that stuff, because I did do speeches before all this madness. I did mental health speeches, and I really enjoy them, and I really miss doing them. But whatever. So yes, if let's see, this is June. So if I actually, I think I can get Illustrator. As soon as I get an Illustrator, projects are going to be coming out of me like no tomorrow, and I will post them, at least the finished products. Where should I post them so people can purchase them? I think I'm going to try to get a publisher, actually. So I would probably go for, let me write somewhere. The only publisher I know and I like that has games is Chronicle Books. So I think Chronicle would be like the best option. Chronicle Books. And then everyone else, I'm going to not allow to sell my stuff, like Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. I like Barnes and Nobles, maybe, but Amazon is not going to be able to sell any of my stuff without explicit permission because, you know, they're doing shady shit. And Walmart, definitely not. Target, I'm on the fence about. But Target has a little bit more. They're progressive, you know. They increase the wages. They have eco-friendly products, so it's kind of better. But I'll see. But Chronicle Books is my main goal. So Chronicle Books is probably going to be the publisher for my games and the producer for the board games, the books that I'm going to be writing, and any tarot cards that I come out with. Maybe I'll just publish those myself because it's really easy. And yeah, so if you're interested in the games, if they catch your interest, buy them. I would give them out for free because I really don't care, but you have to make a living. You know, in order to make more games, you need money so you can continue making games. So yes, they would be for an affordable price, except the really complex ones are going to be expensive because they're complex. So we'll see. I don't know. And then I have my passport picture. It's a terrible picture. Oh my God. I'm not even going to show you that picture. It's just crazy. I'm going to write something in here to remind me of this picture. it like brought me back to like before Corona stuff. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you were educated as usual. Again, if anyone's triggered, don't even bother to try to attack me because I'm not going to answer. And I hope you're laughing, you're smiling. I made you laugh because I'm funny, I think. So we'll I'm not doing this on purpose, okay? I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. It's just happening. I don't know what's going on. I guess it happens when I get excited. So I will continue to produce videos regardless of anything. And also, I really do want to get these games finished. So I'm going to work hard and get Illustrator. And I could do tutorials about how to use Illustrator too. Yeah. So, and Procreate, because I have Procreate too, but I know Illustrator for longer. So yeah. Thanks for watching, and comment if you want. You know, I always respond to comments. That's one thing that I like to do, you know, is take time to appreciate people appreciating me. So yeah, it's gonna rain again. There's been thunderstorms day after day now. What does it mean? But yeah, and then tomorrow is kind of Tuesday. Okay, I know what we're doing tomorrow, so it doesn't matter. All right, well, thank you for watching.